What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? We should be live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So we're super excited. I'm Derek Forston, and thank you guys so much for being here. We are super, super excited because tonight's topic is something that we've been talking about for a long time, actually. So the benefits of hiring a virtual assistant, particularly from VA 101 for your business. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys have a lot of choices, and you could have chose anywhere to be, but you chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. So if you are an entrepreneur or a CEO or you're a small business and you're looking for some help, meaning you want some affordable help, this is the stream for you. This is the live for you. So let's jump right into it, right? I'm not going to waste a lot of you guys' time. So who am I and why in the world am I certified enough to even to talk about these virtual assistants? First of all, I'm Derek Forston. I am the proud owner of multiple businesses, and that's one of the reasons why I actually have so many virtual assistants. God has really blessed us over the years that we have over, 7, 8 businesses now. And there will be no way that I can do that, my wife and I, my team, without these virtual assistants. So first of all, I just want to establish myself by saying that not only do we own the sister company A101, where we vet, train, and endorse virtual assistants to small business owners like yourself, I actually have 14 of them myself that work entirely for my wife and I amongst our multiple companies. I'm also the founder of Second Chance Housing, Forster Consultants, where my family and I, we go all over the world showing people how to house the homeless and displaced adults. That's what most people know us for. So between Second Chance Housing and Forster Consultants, a lot of people know us for housing the homeless and displaced adults. But I listed these businesses for a reason. I'm also the founder of Qualified Circle, which we're commercial lenders. So we lend anywhere from $30,000 to $30 million when it comes to real estate and also loaning to businesses. And my wife and I are also the founder and co-founder of VA 101, which is the virtual assistant staffing agency, which is what we'll talk about tonight. And the reason why I listed these 5 businesses is to make sure that you guys understand that these particular businesses that we run, they're primarily ran by virtual assistants alone, right? So even though I started Second Chance Housing back in 2017, 2018, over the last 8 or 9 months or so, I've completely turned that program over to a virtual assistant that runs my program for me. And that's a lot of what we'll be talking about tonight. So you may often ask yourself, well, what is a virtual assistant? One thing that we don't like to do here at Forster Consultants or VA 101, we never want to take it for granted that people just know what a virtual assistant is, right? And because we house the homeless and displaced adults, sometimes when people see the word VA, they think we're talking about the veterans. But for us tonight, when we hear the word or we talk about the word virtual assistant or VA, that's what we're talking about. So a virtual assistant, guys, is a remote worker that does administrative, technical, or creative assistance for you or your business. And that's kind of what I talked about earlier, right? And the key word to that whole phrase is a remote worker. So my virtual assistants, guys, they don't live in the US. They actually live in the Philippines. So pretty much no matter where you live at here in the US, the Philippines is probably about 9,000 miles away from where you live. And that's what it means by their remote workers. They're also able to support your business and other business owners. So I'm real big on teaching you guys, once you get these VAs, don't only just use the VA for yourself, but also turn it into a business to where you're able to help 10 or 15 or 35 other business owners or entrepreneurs. So again, they work from a remote location and they do not have to be in my physical building or my office or even in the city or state that I live in. That's the gem to it all. And the tasks that they do, it can include anything from email management, appointment scheduling, customer support, social media. How many of us struggle with that social media? If you struggle with social media and being consistent with it, put a number 7 in the chat, right? So we're going to make tonight really interactive. So if you struggle with social media or you're not really that good at it, put a number 7 in the chat and let's just kind of see below. But all of these things, bookkeeping, graphic design, data mining, so all of these things that most of us simply don't have time to do. So oftentimes when I'm explaining that what kind of role a virtual assistant can play, I often talk about most of us have jobs, most of us have a spouse, a lot of us have children, a lot of us have a lot of extracurricular activities that even fall outside of like your normal 9 to 5. These are all the reasons why you need a virtual assistant. So for a lot of us, God has put on our heart to write a book, to create a course, to create some kind of curriculum. And a lot of us are just simply too busy to get into it. But at the same time, who are we to not do something that God has put on our heart? But most of us, again, we don't have time, right? And quite frankly, if we hired somebody from the US, the cost of it just simply may be too much. So again, that's the whole gem in working with these virtual assistants that don't even live here in the US and they're remote workers. The other part is that virtual assistants work independently and they communicate through email, messaging apps, and video conferencing. I had a phone call today with this gentleman. He was like, "Well, Derek, how do I communicate with these people if they're so far away?" Well, we recommend Telegram. So a lot of people like WhatsApp. Some people prefer emails, but we like Telegram. Telegram's fast, it's easy, right? And for a lot of us that are on the go, we do a lot of traveling, right? It's hard to check those emails, but Telegram comes to your phone just like a regular text message. So we love that. They can also be hired on an hourly or part-time basis or full-time. So at VA 101, our VAs prefer at least 8 hours a day, but our minimum to get you started is 6 hours a day. Okay, so if you're interested in that at all and you're wondering, well, Derek, how many hours do I need to commit to? At VA 101, it's a minimum of 6 hours a day. And again, we'll get into it, guys, it's only $4 an hour. So the $4 an hour part is the part that'll really, really change your life and your business. Virtual assistants also offer flexibility and cost effectiveness for businesses to outsource routine tasks. So some of us, we pay people here in the US for things that could be done literally overseas for less money. Not that we're trying to get rid of jobs and all of that. AI is doing that all on its own. But if I could give you a personal assistant, because guys, I've been dreaming my whole life to have an assistant, right? An executive administrator. And literally, if you can do that for $4 an hour, like, why wouldn't you do something like that? So again, that whole being effective and being able to outsource things, imagine being able to outsource that to yourself. A lot of us go to Fiverr and we get things done, right? We've all heard of Fiverr, Fiverr. Guys, imagine having Fiverr in your own back pocket now, right? So that's kind of what started this whole thing for us. We outsourced a lot of things through Fiverr and Upwork. But now, like, it's like, why not have my own assistant? And then my story is that when I got one, then I got two, then I got three, and then those same three VAs, they literally built VA 101. So the company that I'll be speaking about all day today, my VAs literally built that company simply because I asked a bunch of questions on like how did they come to me when we originally started. So another piece I want to talk about is this allows businesses to focus on core activities while delegating administrative responsibilities. So there's some key phrases in there, right? Delegating. A lot of us fail to delegate because, again, you're trying to do everything. We're all trying to be the hero. We want to be the CEO, the entrepreneur, and we want to help all and be all, right? But sometimes it's hard to do that. So when people that are not naturally good at delegating, sometimes they kind of struggle with this unless they have the teacher from us in terms of how this really works. But if you don't mind delegating, because most of us are drowning in some of the work that we're trying to do, right? How great would it be to give some of that off to a virtual assistant, meaning the website creation, the logo designs, right? Your social media. No matter what kind of business you have, we all need to be on social media. And my requirement is literally you should be on at least 3 social media sites minimum, right? I want you to be on more, but you literally should be on at least Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Like that's the core for us. Okay. So these are all the reasons or kind of what is a virtual assistant. When people say, well, Derek, what is a VA? Simply, guys, put, it's a remote worker, usually that doesn't even live where you are. And most of the time, the gem to it is that they're very affordable. If I tried to hire an assistant for what I need here in the US, that would be $30 an hour, $40 an hour. But how great is it that my actual administrative assistant, gosh, she started at only $4 an hour. Okay. So that's the gem to a lot of this. And then the other question that we get a lot of, Derek, why do I need a VA? It just keeps coming, right? The productivity, guys, to increase what you're all doing. Imagine 10x in what you're already doing today. I'm sure a lot of you guys are on here that are doing great work in your community. You're doing great work in your business, but why not 10x that? So the productivity is what we want to try to get up because that brings more income, right? So virtual assistants handle routine tasks, administrative tasks. They free up your time, right? For business owners and employees. So again, guys, I own multiple businesses now. I could not do that if I didn't have the help of these virtual assistants. My wife was actually my first assistant, right? She helped me build everything that we have. But guys, if you guys are anything like me, I have 1,000 ideas a minute. So I quickly kind of outgrew Shay's help, right? So that's when we started to get these virtual assistants. And now, guys, it has changed our life. It's changed our businesses. And if you guys know anything about us, if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse, you guys know that whatever we learn, pretty much we turn around and give it away. Because we made a promise to God years ago. God, if you make certain things work for us, we promise we'll go all over the world sharing it. So again, delegating non-core tasks to virtual assistants helps business owners manage their time effectively. Guess what I mean by that? I let these virtual assistants do all the things that I'm not great at, meaning copywriting. I'm not great at the words that go under the post that you put on Facebook. My VAs do all of that stuff. Here's another example. I own a credit repair company. Guys, I don't repair credit. I don't know how to repair credit. I can just barely spell TransUnion. But guess what? I got a whole team of virtual assistants that they'll take your credit score from a 600 to a 750, right? I have a blog writing service, a newsletter writing service. So all of the things that you're really not good at, responding to emails in a timely fashion, God has blessed us so much now that our phone rings so much on the Forster consultant side that, the way it used to be back in the day that I could take a lot of those calls. But now today, if I didn't have my assistant, Jess, that handles all of the phone calls and make sure that I don't miss phone calls or strategy sessions or that I don't double book people, I would be lost. So again, delegating the non-core tasks, those things that really don't generate the income, but you still need it, that's what a non-core task would be. And again, most of us are not good at social media. Why not give it to somebody that works for $4 an hour that can blow your social media through the roof? Okay. Business owners can assign tasks based on the virtual assistant skill set. Watch this gem I'm about to drop. Now, the major thing that sticks out to me about that phrase is their skill set. So within the first 4 months of me having VAs, most of y'all know that I'm on Clubhouse all the time, right? Clubhouse is recorded. My VAs, because when I hired Teresa, she told me that her skill set was that in the past, she had set up a podcast. She's run a nationally syndicated podcast. So guess what? I wanted a podcast. So because of Teresa's skill set, when I go on Clubhouse every Monday at 6 p.m., every Tuesday at 6 p.m., and every Saturday at 9:45 a.m., guess who takes all of those rooms from Clubhouse and put that inside of a podcast to now we're on Spotify, Apple, and all of these different like places of where these podcasts go. Put a number 3 in the chat if you ever thought about starting your own podcast, but you didn't know where to start it. Do that for me, guys. Put a number 3 in the chat if you want to start your own podcast, but you really didn't know how to do it. You didn't know how to set it up. But how great would it be that we give you a virtual assistant that now every time you go on and do a recording or something, they turn that into a podcast. So guys, we have a nationally syndicated podcast now simply because of what Teresa's skill set was. And that's what I mean by that. Business owners can assign tasks based on the virtual skill set. That's what I mean. We also have a real estate wholesaling company. Guys, I don't know how to wholesale real estate, but we hired virtual assistants that have the skill set, right? And another thing we're super big on is actually when we do get these VAs, we give them training, we give them coaching, we give them teaching because everything. But I'm real good to go to a place called Udemy, udemy.com, and we can buy them courses, teachings, and all of that stuff. One day I decided that I wanted a digital marketing company, right? And I had VAs building these websites and they were using Wix. So again, from that, I was like, wow, these VAs can build websites too. So I started a website creation business literally from what these VAs are already good at. So what we talk about a lot in the course that we've created is we talk about using the skill set that they're already good at. I gave you guys the example when Teresa told me that she started and she ran a podcast, meaning all of the images, all of the uploading, all of the commercials intertwined inside of it. I was like, man, I got to have a podcast. I've always wanted one, but nobody on my team at that point could figure it out. Soon as we got these VAs, guys, now we got a podcast. So if you're not joining us on Don't Wait to Be Great, make sure you do that. So we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on a lot of different places, right? I don't even know all the places, but my VAs put it all out there. And a lot of people are getting a chance to hear our message in terms of housing the homeless and what these virtual assistants can do for you. Because again, that's what most people know us for. So, guys, hiring a virtual assistant can increase productivity and allow business owners to focus on important tasks. That's just kind of like that same one. I want to do what I'm really good at, y'all. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the things that I'm not great at because it takes away from what I'm really good at. One thing that I'm really sure of about me, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm bad at. Guys, I'm bad at social media. I'm bad at writing emails that sound really good and professional. So we use virtual assistants and chat GPT to do a lot of that stuff. So a lot of our email campaigns and a lot of the social media copy, um, and again, just social media, just being consistent. Again, most of us have jobs, children, multiple businesses, so it's hard to be consistent. How great is it that the business that you run, no matter what it is, you got somebody posting every day, 3 times a day? Most of us don't have time to do that, and neither are we going to do it. So again, guys, for a $4 an hour virtual assistant, why wouldn't you do this? So hopefully already by now, just on this one slide, you guys are able to see kind of the benefits of having a virtual assistant, and especially at $4 an hour. Okay. And the last one on this one is delegating tasks to lead to better quality of work and increase productivity. Again, guys, that's my favorite one, is when I get a chance to delegate it. So every business that I've pretty much started it, the last piece of that business is always delegating it to a virtual assistant that can literally take it over so that I can, so to speak, turn my back on it. I want to move to the next business. I want to start the next thing. As I told you guys, Shay and I own multiple businesses now, right? God has been really good to us. But guess what? The last 5 businesses that we've started, guys, all I did was think of the idea. We gave the VAs the training, we hired for their skill set, and we gave it to them. So I just told you guys, I have a real estate wholesaling business by the name of PDR Solutions, where we wholesale real estate that is ran completely by virtual assistants. We have a credit repair business under qualifiedcircle.com that is completely ran by virtual assistants, right? I have a blog writing service, a newsletter writing service. We write grants for people. All of these things are done by virtual assistants. I per se don't know how to repair credit. I don't know how to wholesale real estate, but I'm just smart enough to hire the expertise that does know how to do it. So we truly believe here at Forster Consultants and VA1101 to hire the skill set that you need so that you can expand your life or your dreams. Okay. So hopefully after this is all over tonight, hopefully that you guys got questions, because I want to make sure I answer any questions that anybody has. Okay. So on this slide, I want to talk about the cost savings. Like, why would I hire this VA? Let's talk about the cost savings. Hiring a virtual assistant is cost-effective solution for your business or any of y'all in here that got a business. Because again, if you try to hire somebody that's going to be in the US that works kind of, that's going to be $15 an hour, $20 an hour, right? How can you beat $4 an hour for basically any idea that you got in your head right now that a virtual assistant can help you with? And you guys will be amazed at the skill set that these VAs have. So even this PowerPoint today, I didn't build this. I gave them the thoughts and the words and all the things that I wanted to have in it. But my VAs, they built this PowerPoint. So all of the speaking engagements that I go to now, my travel arrangements, reminders for my doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, you guys will be amazed of how we now intertwine these VAs into our personal life. So I got a doctor's appointment, I think about 3 or 4 days from now. Guess who reminded me of that today? They're going to remind me tomorrow and the day of. Like, my VAs do all of that so that I can stay in order. Because guys, I'm very honest. I'm naturally not a very organized person, but with these VAs, I look real professional. I look real organized, and it's because of them and the help that they give me. So again, guys, imagine having your own personal assistant right by your side. VAs are also often more affordable compared to hiring full-time employees. I'm going to talk a lot about that tonight. Imagine what you make at your job right now. Guys, we pay this team $4 an hour. And I want to take 2 minutes to tell you this. Although $4 an hour for us is very affordable, guys, for them, it's a well-to-do living. So in the Philippines, guys, that's a third world country, right? So they're not like us over here when it comes to what our money equals up to. So most VAs that we know we hire, that we vet, train, and endorse, when we ask them what they used to make at their old job in the Philippines, most of them are always under $2 an hour, $1.50, $1.25, 98 cents an hour, right? 38 cents an hour, $2 an hour. Never have we ever ran into a VA yet that has made more than $2 an hour when we've interviewed them when they had a job in the Philippines. So when we tell them We're paying $4 an hour and you only have to work Monday through Friday. This blows their mind. And also, just to give you another little bit of insight, virtual assistants from the Philippines, this is actually their dream job. Their dream job is to work for some American lady or some American guy so they can brag to all of their friends talking about how much of money they're making. So again, that $4 an hour that you keep hearing me talking about, to them in the Philippines, that's a middle-class family. That's no different from a lot of us here making $90,000 a year, right? So again, that's what makes us excited, because not only does this allow you to hire somebody to help you in your business, it also allows you to be a blessing to people. Can you imagine being a blessing to somebody that's been dreaming to do this kind of job? So most of these VAs tell us that being a virtual assistant to work overnight, this is their dream job. This is what they really want to do, right? Also, VAs are typically being charged by the hour or sometimes by the project. So even at VA 101, when people are not quite ready to commit to a VA full time, we got a service where you can actually hire a VA for a project. You say, Derek, man, I got a course and an ebook that I'm trying to write. I need a VA probably for about 6 weeks, Derek. We can also do that. A lot of people are doing that now, right? But we super specialize in people that want a full-time VA Monday through Friday, right? And that's usually a minimum of 6 hours a day. Businesses do not need to provide office space, equipment, or benefits to virtual assistants. That's another thing, guys. I'm not paying for office space. I'm not paying for equipment per se, because they come with a lot of their own stuff. Now, we'll talk about some systems that you have to have, but they're going to come with their own computers and all of that stuff. I'm not buying equipment. So when we interview these VAs, they have to come already set up to do business. Okay. The other part is there are no hidden costs like taxes or insurance associated with VAs. So if you hire somebody here in the US, you got to pay taxes, insurance, and all of that. This is very different. I think they kind of call it a 1099, and my accountant isn't here tonight, but I don't want to get too deep into that. But there is no taxes and all of that, those things that come along with when your job hired you. That W-2 and all of that stuff, that doesn't exist here, guys. Okay? So that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up. Or if you didn't know that, give me a thumbs up. Because a lot of people think that when we get these VAs, that they have to have insurance and you have to pay for their Medicaid, their Medicare. That's simply just not true. Okay? Virtual assistants offer a cost-effective way to obtain specialized skills without the expense of a full-time employee here in the US. Okay? So that's another thing, right? In the US, as I told you all, like, it's just going to be different in terms of what it costs. In the Philippines, guys, this costs us $4 an hour. So even at that minimum that we're always telling people about, $6 a day times those $4, that's 24 hours, $24 a day. And if my math is correct, that's like $120 a week. So I tell people, if you can afford or you can cut back on that Starbucks, right? And you can afford $4 an hour for 6 hours a day, that's literally what's going to save your life and your business. Okay. So we talked about the benefits, and we talked about the productivity, and we talked about the cost. Okay. And this is the part where I like to talk about, why do you, that work-life balance, right? But
Question.
Shay, right before we hop into the work-life balance, let's take a few questions actually. So if we got some questions, Shay, I think I seen something pop up on that screen. I don't mind even stopping for a few questions, because the next thing I'll go into is that work-life balance. So I think I see a question that says, so the VA come with the skill set of building websites, real estate experience, credit experience, or would we have to train them? I understand we need to train them in our process and etc. Great question. So the way that it works, most people, Jawan, when they ask for a VA from us, most people, when they explain exactly what they want what we would call a GVA. That stands for a general virtual assistant. That means that falls under a lot of things, like a lot of different stuff in terms of the administrative side, social media. But if somebody comes to us and they have what we would call a specialty, and one thing that you said already, so if you say, Derek, I want one that deals with real estate and wholesaling, or Derek, I want somebody to cold call my real estate leads. That's a little bit of a specialty. So what my team does is that they really make sure that they find somebody with the skill set of what you need. So no matter kind of what you ask for, 90% of people are going to fall under that GVA. Easy, right? Then there's other people that are going to say, well, Derek, you know what? I need this. And I'm going to give you an example. We had a mother a couple months ago come to us. She said, Derek, I have an autistic kid, and I would really appreciate if I could somehow get a VA to be the liaison between me and his school teacher. She says, Derek, I have a lot going on. I own multiple businesses. Yes, I love him. He's my kid. But the school teacher, Derek, wants to speak to me every 20 minutes throughout the day. And I can't do that. She said, do you believe you can get a VA to do that? Guess what my team did, Jay? They literally, on their search, they found, not only did they find a school teacher, but they found a special ed school teacher who specialized in autism and also teaching students that had Down syndrome. So that lady, that mother, she thinks we're a genius now because we literally found somebody that had the skill set of exactly what she wanted. And that's what my team does. So that's what we mean by we vet, we train, and then we endorse. So when somebody purchases a VA service from us, the moment you hit the button to buy it, you get a job form from my team. And on that job form, it's going to like ask you, what are you looking for? What skill set do you need? Do you have a business now, or are you going to start a business? So we ask you a lot of different questions. And then from that, my team begins that search, right? We also have a huge pool of people already. So as I told you earlier, 90% of people that come to us, they're going to fall under the needs of needing a general virtual assistant. But if you ask me for something that's kind of outside the norm, like that mother, that's kind of outside of what we really do. But now, because of that one mom, and she's told multiple mothers, we now kind of specialize in that too. So a lot of our virtual assistants, their background is in education, right? So they come with a bachelor or a master's degree in education, mathematics, science, right? Government studies, like all of this stuff, and it's Americanized. So believe it or not, in the Philippines, everything over there is written in English. All of their signage, um, their first language is Tagalog, but most Filipinos, they do speak great English, right? So that's that other part to that. So hopefully I answered that question, Jawan. And if I did, let me know in the chat. If I missed it, also let me know. But definitely that skill set that you're. Oh, also here's a gem. You asked me about building websites. I literally did a live about a month ago showing and teaching people how to use these VAs to start your own website creation business. Now, a lot of people are turning that into a digital marketing business. And guess what we did, right? So, there's a part to when you purchase a VA from us, we got another specialized group. It's kind of a VIP group. It's only like $27 a month, right? But what that group does, it gives ongoing training, ongoing teaching. Prime example, about a month ago, we put inside of that group, we bought a course that teaches you how to build a website. But guess what, Joanne, I don't want you building it. I want your virtual assistant to learn to build it so that you can turn that into a business. So that's what we're real big on at VA 101. Not only do we want people to get a virtual assistant to build your website, to build your business, to build your logo, but we want that same VA to work for 10 or 15 other people so that you make passive income in your sleep. People can go to your website, click your button to get a website built, and now your VA fills that order. Does that make sense, everybody? So I jokingly tell people, don't be selfish. You get this VA to work for you, but find 15 other people that you can build websites, logos, newsletters, banners, flyers, business cards. All you need is Canva, right? All your VA need is Canva. And again, guys, imagine doing this for $4 an hour. You're paying somebody $4 an hour to build websites, but you're charging $1,000. You're charging 500. You're charging 850. Whatever your price is. So in that private community, and a lot of people they love it because, like even last week, Shay dropped a whole tutorial and gave probably over 5 different businesses that you can start with just a virtual assistant. So that was a great question, Jay. I appreciate that. And he says, I hear this question. So perfect. And guys, share the room. We're absolutely live. We'll probably be here for another hour or so. So if you're enjoying this room, make sure you share it to your other outlets. We're on YouTube right now, streaming live. We're also on Facebook at Derek Forston, and we're also live on Facebook at VA 101. Also, show us some love over there as well. But definitely share the room, guys. And if you're enjoying it, let me know. I would greatly appreciate that. So I want to move into now talking about a good work-life balance, right? So hiring a virtual assistant can help improve work-life balance in today's fast-paced business world. I'm going to give a little story behind that one. We literally had a gentleman tell me, Derek, you don't know it, bro, but you just saved my marriage. I was like, huh? He said, bro, man, when I got this VA, that saves so much of time from me being inside of the business all the time. My wife and I now do a date night. I was like, wow. He says, every Wednesday now, because of this VA, we go out and have ice cream, or we'll go out and grab sushi or something small and just go out and kick it and talk about business. So I had a guy literally thank me and said that we saved his marriage because of a VA. Can y'all imagine that? So again, it's buying your time back. So I tell people in a nutshell what these VAs really do. They buy your time back, guys, right? So again, and it comes from all of the things that you're not good at. Most of us in this room right now, we suck at social media, or you got something better that you should be doing. I often tell you guys that you're bigger than doing your own social media. You got more important things to do than that, right? So VAs assist with the time management, reducing workload, and increasing productivity. Guys, time management is so big for me. And again, because I'm naturally kind of unorganized, if I didn't have VAs that kept my schedule and reminded me every day of what I have to do, guys, I would be all over the place. I would be late. I would be double booking people, right? And I wouldn't be as productive. You guys, you ever felt busy at times, but you wasn't really productive? Put a 2 in the chat. If there's been times, right, like to where like you thought you were being busy, but you really wasn't that productive. And that having a VA will take that away from you because they're going to have a list of what they need to be doing. So if you agree with that, throw a 2 in the chat to where you've been busy, but not really productive. And we want to take that away from all of y'all, right? Because most of us either have a business or we want to start one. I wish I had a VA, guys, when I started businesses way back years ago. Because I told y'all, man, these VAs have changed our life. They've changed our business. And y'all know us, when we get something and it works, we share with everybody else. Okay. So they can also handle time consuming tasks like scheduling appointments, managing emails, and organizing files. Guys, my emails go crazy. And again, I told y'all, most people know us for housing the homeless. So my housing program that Jess runs, who's a VA, that email just gets just hammered each and every day. Guys, I couldn't keep up with that. Just literally me being on this call right now, I'm going to miss 55 emails from between now and the time that I finish this. But guess who's going to take a look at that tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.? My VAs. So again, they just kind of help keep us in line, guys. All of these appointments where people are calling us now, I told you guys just 9 months ago, people just call us and set up appointments and call and speak to me. Guys, we've gotten so busy now that if it doesn't go through our system and our VAs, you're going to get lost, or I'm going to get lost rather. So instead of doing that and doing bad business, we incorporated virtual assistants, which means for all of you, they're going to make you better business people. Your VAs, guys, can make you look good, right? And if you got a VA already, put a number 9 in the chat. If your VA, by the things they're doing, they're making you look good in front of your customers. Put a number 9 in the chat. Because I know for sure my VAs, they make me look better than what I really am because they're more organized. They do things in order, right? We have weekly meetings, right? My VAs, if we don't have a meeting in like a week or less, they say, hey, Mr. Derek, we haven't met this week. Are we meeting? And that just helps everybody be accountable too, so that everybody knows what's going on, right? Delegating such tasks to a VA frees up time for business owners and managers. This allows for them to focus on higher level tasks that require their attention. Just like I told you guys, now I'm going to just be real honest and straight up with everybody in this room. What feeds my family is kind of what I'm doing right now. I got to be talking all the time. I got to be presenting. I got to be giving presentations because I promised God years ago, God, if you make it work for me, I'm going to go all over the world teaching whatever I learn. So my whole life, guys, is consumed in consulting, teaching, and pouring into people. But guys, I wouldn't be able to do that without the help of these VAs. They do the smaller, mundane tasks so that I can be the hero in the community. That's the way I like to view that, right? My VAs handle the small, mundane tasks that allow me or you all to be the hero in your community or within your business. I would like to think today I'm bigger than doing social media. I would like today to think that I'm bigger than setting up appointments for people that want to speak to our team. I would like to think today that I'm bigger than responding to all of these emails, not the ones that are in that star list that got like very important. But guys, I'm so busy with what I do every day. Like we're involved in real estate. Guys, we're involved in so much that again, that if I didn't have these VAs, guys, I would be lost. And we don't want you all to be like that. And again, for $4 an hour, how can you beat that for somebody to keep you on track each and every day? Okay. By reducing workload and stress, VAs contribute to the improved work-life balance. And that just goes back to that story of that gentleman that I told you guys. He said that VA 101 saved his marriage. We were like, wow. He said, man, Derek, man, I bought my time back. That $4 an hour, Derek, literally allowed me and my wife to not have a date night that we schedule. That has brought us back together and has made our business better. Can you imagine? Most couples and marriages fail because of lack of money. And then, especially if they're doing business together, they fall out. Infidelity and all of that, but mostly money. Money is an issue. Time. If you're not spending time together, then the devil got a chance to creep in and do all kind of crazy stuff. But if you get a VA, and guys, this ain't me saying it, a gentleman that went through the process said, Derek, you saved my marriage, bro. Simply because this VA, I was able to buy my time back, which saved my marriage. We're proud of that, right? That's not very often that you can start a business and people say, man, bro, you saved my marriage. That was a big deal to us. So we stress that a lot, okay? So we want to let you guys see what some of our satisfied customers had to say kind of about VA 101 and our services. So Shantae mentioned, and big shout out to her, she purchased a VA that had exceeded our expectations and is now a liaison for all three of our businesses. See what I mean? They got one VA, y'all, but she's working in three different businesses. And she is operating in her gift, in her gifting capacities. How great is that? But listen to the gem. Shantae's got three different businesses. Shout out to Shantae. And that one VA is a part of all of that. Wow. Hakima says, so I decided to take the action and I purchased the VA 101 with the VA. Not only did I get an informative course, because the course comes with it, and an ebook, continuous support, and a highly qualified and motivated virtual assistant, but I also gained a new family member. So we talk a lot about that. So when we get these VAs, y'all, they simply become family, right? If they're hanging around you 2 or 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, and it becomes a year, after a while, my whole team now, we're family now. We say things like I love you and all of that stuff now. Like we're just family, right? Because they're running my business and I'm paying them. And it's beautiful on both sides, right? Because $4 an hour for me is very affordable. But $4 an hour for them, it changes their life. Because where they're from, that's a lot of money. So here's another one. Amy said, Dr. Amy, actually, this is a doctor. Dr. Amy says, my VA hiring process was simply flawless. I had such genuine guidance from the onboarding course to the end of the interviews. And we ain't even got to that part yet, right? So most companies, when they do this to you guys and just give you VAs, they just give you a VA and say, Derek, good luck. I hope you make it. Like there is no aftercare. There's no onboarding. Our team is really different. Not only did you get to choose your own VAs from kind of what we bring to you, there's an interview process. And we also allow you to get the resumes and a voice clip of what they sound like. I don't want you hiring a virtual assistant that you can't understand. Don't make sense. Now, some people come to us and have a business where they never need to be on the telephone. So if you got a web business, but let's just say you got another VA that handles the phone calls, that person's speech may not matter. Because even me, right, I have 14 VAs. But out of the 14 VAs, I really need only about 3 or 4 of them to be on the phones. The other 10, all of their work is done at the back end. They don't even need a phone. But Jess needs a phone. Jess runs my second chance housing program. Tara's my executive administrative assistant. She needs a phone. Teresa is over our digital marketing company. She's always making deals and calling people, right? And I probably got one more that I'm missing. But I usually got 3 to 4 VAs that they must be on. Oh, yeah, Mary. Mary's also a part of VA 101. So again, those 4, they must be on the phone and they have to speak well. But my other 10, it didn't matter what they sound like. But I still, because I just want all of them to have great English, we hired for that. Okay. So Katara mentioned working with VA 101 helps ease the workload and stresses of everyday occurrences. Wow. Right. So that's what's pretty cool about it. And trust me, they go on and on, but I just kind of highlighted certain parts. But our record for vetting, training, and endorsing VAs is through the roof. A lot of people are coming to us now, but we're so keen on just making sure that you guys get it. We give you all kinds of ways to get in it. Obviously, we would love if you came through VA 101, but we also have a course. So if you said, Derek, man, I don't want to go through y'all. I want to just do this on my own. We got a course that's only $197 where we teach you how to vet, train, and endorse your own VA, right? So right here, we'll talk about what does it look like when you purchase a VA. So from us, if you get a VA from VA 101, if you get one VA, that's $697. That comes with the course, the ebook, and also your VA is put into a private VIP group where we continue to kind of give your VA training, right? And then addition to that, and we can talk about that later, there's also a VIP group that we've offering people. That was only $27 a month to where we give you ongoing training as the person that's running the business. So we give you multiple ideas, meaning I talked about credit repair. I talked about a website creation business. I talked about a blog writing business. I talked about a grant writing business, right? And I can go on and on and on, social media management, all of that stuff. We teach you how to start businesses from that. So like right now, as the example I gave earlier, inside of that group right now is a Wix certified course of how to build websites. So when your VA gets in that community, they have no excuse whether they ever built a website or not in their life. That if they follow that course, because at VA 101, we believe that if you can read, you can lead. So we gave them a course and we put it inside of that community so they can watch it at their leisure. Okay. So that's what that group is about. And then our best value is the 2 VAs for the $997. The reason why that's the best value because you save money. And also we give you the ability to defer that second VA up to 6 months. So let's just say you say, Derek, I want the 2 VAs. That's a better deal to get the 2. But Derek, I don't need 2 VAs right now. We give you guys up to 6 months to defer that second VA. So we often even tell people that if you got a loved one or a mom or dad or a business buddy and you both want it, why not go in together to get the 2 for the $997 versus you guys paying the $697 for the 1? So definitely take a look at our website also at va101.co and also scan that QR code, okay? So that'll lead you right to our website. So go ahead and take a screenshot of that, guys. I'm absolutely okay with that. But again, our VA services come with a virtual assistant. They come with a course. They come with an ebook. And then again, your VA goes inside of a private community where my team continues to teach them on and on and on and on and to give them ongoing training. Okay. And then every Tuesday, we'll talk about this later, but every Tuesday night at 6 p.m., that's where you guys can come and get free group coaching. So we're on Clubhouse every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And on Tuesdays, we discuss only virtual assistants and what they can do for your business. Okay. So again, a lot of people get that 1, but here lately, a lot of people are getting the 2 for the $997 because it's such a great deal. And they're either deferring that second VA or they're sharing that VA with somebody else. Okay. So right here, I want to talk about, and Shay, also, there's some questions. I want to make sure I answer all questions. So we'll stay here all night, guys, if you got questions. Okay. But right here, why choose VA 101? Derek, why can't I just do this on my own, Derek? You can actually, but most people don't have the time, don't have the patience to go through all of the interviews and to choose a person and the onboarding. My team does the onboarding with you guys as well because there are systems that you would need to run these VAs, right? And we'll go over those as well. But my team does an onboarding with you to make sure that everything's done the right way. So guys, why choose VA 101? Guys, first of all, get elite virtual assistants at a fraction of the cost, starting at $4 an hour. I probably said that probably 15 times a night, but that's the major gem of how this works. I couldn't imagine having this years ago, right? I didn't know that it existed for $4 an hour, and it's changed our life, guys. It takes us 10 to 15 days to vet, train, and endorse a VA to you. So when we get that question with Derek, how long does it take to get the VA once I buy it? 10 to 15 days, because we during that time we're vetting, we're training, and then we're going to endorse to you. And remember, before we just give you a VA, we're going to pull the best 2 to 3 VAs, right? My team will email you and say, Miss Joanne, your appointment is on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Is that okay with you? If it's not, let us know the best time because we want to set up your VA interviews. We've got 3 really good ones and we want you to choose. So you have a whole interview process. And by the way, Miss Joanne, here's their resume and here's a voice clip of what they each sound like. So there's no excuses that you haven't kind of met them even before the interview process. We really want this to go well, y'all, right? So that's what the 10 to 15 days is for. And then the one key that makes us an absolute no-brainer, nobody does this, we give a 90-day free replacement. Okay. So let's just say you get a VA. You say, man, I got this VA, and this VA isn't great as what Derek said that his VAs are. First of all, we would love to train that VA or train you if there's something wrong there. But if you say, no, Derek, man, I don't want to do no training with this lady. She don't get it. I want to replace her. No problem. We do that within 90 days. So literally, I tell most people, you're going to know within the first 2 weeks if you got a superstar. But we give you 90 days because we want to make sure you get the right one. And if you're not satisfied, no questions asked for anybody on my team. If my team asks you a question other than can we train that VA, we got a problem, because we guarantee that, and we give you 90 days. It's just like almost when you start a brand new job and they give you 90 days to see if you're going to make it. That's kind of what this is. And then if that VA doesn't work out, we replace that VA free of charge. You do not pay that $697 all over again. And for that question that's already come in about, is that $697 a one-time cost or is it monthly? No, that's a one-time fee. You pay my team one time to vet, train, and endorse. And then now you're responsible to pay that $4 an hour directly to that virtual assistant. I don't get the $4 an hour, guys. That goes directly to that VA. Okay. So, as I said earlier, this was going to be nice, sweet, and short. I wasn't going to take a lot of time, but every Tuesday, I want you guys to join us on Clubhouse. This is where we talk about virtual assistants and all what they can do, including email management, social media management, real estate wholesaling, website creation, just general research, customer service, marketing, digital marketing, graphic design, lead generation. We all need leads in our business, right? And data management. And the list goes on and on and on and on, right? I'm super excited about the mothers now that are getting the VAs to deal with their kids in school. And as you guys know, school is back up now, right? School is back around again. So I'm excited for the opportunity that a lot of people are going to be wanting these VAs to help their kids in school, right? If you've ever joined us on Clubhouse before, I've talked about starting a tutoring service from VAs. I know people here in the US that pay $40 an hour, $50 an hour to have their kids tutored. Again, you guys can start a tutoring service for $4 an hour, guys, that you're paying somebody $4 an hour, and you can still charge that $30 or $40 an hour to the parent, right? So that's what I mean by we give you ideas to start additional businesses simply from that same VA that you already have, right? And I named a lot of businesses tonight that I have that I absolutely don't know how to run myself. I can't repair credit, guys. I don't know how. Don't have the patience, don't have the time. But we hired a specific skill set of VAs that this is what they do, right? So no different from the real estate wholesaling. We hire a specific skill set for exactly what they do, right? My wife has a nonprofit organization by the name of the Angela Denise Foundation. Guess who just got a $3,000 grant from Whole Foods? My wife's foundation. Guess who applied for it? Her VA, who makes $4 an hour, and she loves it, right? So these VAs work, right now where I live at, guys, it's almost 8 o'clock. So it's like 7:50. Where they live is 7:50 in the morning. So they're already ahead of us. So today is, I think, Tuesday, right? I don't know, no, Wednesday. It's already Thursday where they live at, okay? Because they're ahead of us. And they love the graveyard shift, as they call it, because it gives them an opportunity to have a great job and have their daytime for their children, for their family. Because a lot of the Filipino ladies, the females, they're the breadwinners, actually. So they want to be able to get their kids off to school. A lot of them homeschool their kids. Half of my VAs on my team, they homeschool their children, right? So that's another business that we're going to start eventually that's going to turn into a school system. So I'm going to start a tutoring service, and then it's going to grow. I'm going to allow it to grow into a whole school curriculum, probably 5th grade through 12th grade, completely ran by VAs. All my teachers will be VAs. The principal will be a VA. The dean will be a VA. Oh, and there's Jess. There's one of my assistants. Jess, what are you doing here? So I just talked about Jess. So if y'all see in the chat, Jessica Cuevas, Jess literally runs Second Chance Housing. She's also my personal assistant. So if you guys have ever had an appointment with me, she's probably the one that connected the phone call, right? And she's an absolute sweetheart from what most people tell me. right? So when Jess is handling their phone calls and talking to people, people report that stuff back. So big shout out to Jess. Good to see you, Jess. What are you doing here? Jess works from 9 to 5 during the daytime, but for her, that's 9 at night to 5 in the morning. So right now, in my opinion, Jess should be in the bed asleep, but she's so dedicated and she's so family, she's here tonight. So if y'all even got questions for my assistant Jess while she's here, let them go. Okay. So basically, Shay, that is pretty much it for me tonight. I want to take any questions or any concerns that anybody has. I saw some things pop up on the screen. So I think Shay is with me in the background. So Shay, if you can hear me, what are some questions that we may have, Miss Shay? Or Miss Shay, if you want to type them in the chat, I'm not sure how you want to do it, but we're live. So I want to take any questions that anybody has. And I also want to say thank you so much for being here, guys. I really appreciate it and allowing for me to share this with you all. Questions or concerns? And I got some people that are texting me for questions too, but I want to answer the stuff in the chat first before I go to my phone. So somebody says your questions are important to us. Oh, that's Shay, probably. So, okay, no problem. So let me go into the ones that were texted to me. So one of the questions that came in to me says, again, and I answered this, but I want to just make sure I repeat it and you guys get it. They said, Derek, if we buy the one VA for $697 or the two for $997, is that cost monthly? Absolutely not. I wish you paid me that monthly, right? That's a one-time cost for my team to vet, train, and endorse. We call it VTE, right? So that fee, that upfront fee, that's a one-time cost. And that's for my team to find you this talent and go through the onboarding, the interview process, and all of that of what it takes to get you up and running, because your onboarding is a whole other story, right? So there's software by the name of LastPass, Hubstaff, and Wise in terms of what you need to operate these VAs. And my team goes through that entire process actually during your onboarding. The next question says, let's see, where are your VAs based from? So the Philippines. 98% of our VAs come from the Philippines. We have a few from Egypt. We have one from Pakistan, and we have one from, I think 2 from Pakistan, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so, but 98% of them come from the Philippines. The next question that came in to me, time difference, I talked about that. They're 12 hours ahead of us. Process. Again, I want to go through that process one more time really fast so that everybody understands that. When you purchase a VA from us, you're immediately going to get an email that probably says thank you, right? And then it's going to give you further instructions. A part of those instructions on the upcoming days to come, you're going to receive the resumes for your potential next staff member. So usually my team will send you between 2 and 3 resumes. You also get all of their voice clips, because we want you to say, Derek, I don't like that girl Jennifer. That girl Jess was okay, but I didn't like her really either. So my team, again, that's their job to find that talent. My team usually knocks it out the park so well that the only problem you're going to have is which VA do you choose, actually. So a lot of people, when they come to us, in fact, if you're in this room and you got a VA from VA 101, put in the chat if it was hard for you to make a decision when you interviewed those 3 people. Because that's really my goal. The goal of our team at VA 101 is that we want to make it a hard decision, meaning that we gave you such great people that you can't even decide who you want. So we got some people that say, well, Derek, I only came to get one, but I actually want both of these ladies. No problem, right? So share that in the chat that if you got a VA from us, but at some point you was like, wow, like, man, which one do I choose? Because they're all great. And then there's a lot of people that come back and they're repeat customers, right? You guys get more than one VA, okay? So the next question that came in was, let's see, what if it doesn't work out when I get this VA? Or if we have problems, how do we try to see how she worded it. How do we dissolution it? How do we solve this? I'm assuming that's what she's saying. So that's what our 90-day free replacement is for. So you can't lose with us, guys. There's a lot of companies that you can get a VA from and you can kind of lose in it. You can't lose with us because we have that 90-day free replacement, right? And it's just a no-brainer because, again, in my opinion, that's the whole reason for the vet training endorsing to you, because we scale through, like, I'm gonna give you guys a back seat to how this works on my team on the backside, right? Let's just say my executive administrator, Tara and Jess, get together and we interview 35 VAs today. Out of those 35 VAs, I guarantee you, we probably only take 12 of those people. So that means that we take the cream of the cream de la creme off the top. So by the time we send you the choices, these are really good VAs. So again, that example goes like this. If we interview 35 people today, we'll probably only pull 12 of those people because they're all not going to pass our test. They're all not going to pass what we stand for and what we go for. They got to live by certain things to even get through the gate to us and to you all as potential customers. So our vetting process is really tight, in other words. Okay, guys? So that's why I say it's hard to lose with VA 101 because of that 90-day free replacement and because your VA is also in a private group that we've put them in that we continue to pour into them. So anybody that's ever purchased a virtual assistant for the means of the HRA program, Housing Referral Agency, Jess is the one that trains them, right? Because I trained Jess. So Jess trains every virtual assistant we get that wants to do the Housing Referral Agency for homeless adults. Okay, so all of that's built into them. And again, they're a part of that community. So again, not only do you get the VA, not only do you get the training, but you get a community that your VA goes into so that they continue to learn. A lot of the AI tools now that are out, we give that to your VAs because we want that VA to make you better. We want that VA to make your business better. So definitely consider joining us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're actually in Clubhouse every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. But Tuesdays are specifically catered to virtual assistants and what they can do for you and your business. Okay. Katara says, yes, it was a tough decision, but Shay and Mary helped us make the best decision. Good stuff, Tara. Thank you so much. Miss Janine says, yes, my second round was very hard. Meaning like she didn't even know who to choose. Right. So we're proud of that. So guys, I just want to say thank you one more time. And again, if you haven't visited our website at va101.co, make sure you do that. Also scan that QR code because that'll lead you right to that website. And again, there's also a 7-minute video. So that explains literally everything that I talked about today. If anybody's interested in that, because I got Jess here, I'm going to take full advantage of it. You guys can maybe contact Jess. I won't give her phone number out here. Maybe we'll actually put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, actually. And Shay and Jess will kind of help me take control of that. But definitely, guys, join us every Monday and Tuesday, 6 p.m., where we talk about virtual assistants, how to get started, and also housing the homeless. So if you've ever dreamed of housing the homeless or displaced adults, we specialize in that. That's what most people know us for. So definitely join us every Monday on Clubhouse, every Tuesday on Clubhouse, and every Saturday at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. Okay. So let me scroll the chat and see if I got any other questions. Let's see. He just says, I'm ready. Good stuff, Mr. EJ. He already has a VA, so he's going to go to that next step down and get another one. I'm also excited, guys. I probably shouldn't say this. I might get in trouble, but I'm going to say it anyway because we live. We're literally building something where we're going to allow you guys to have your own virtual assistant staffing agency. So if you say, Derek, that's pretty cool what you guys are doing, man. Y'all are providing jobs, you're helping people, and you're expanding the CEOs around the world in their businesses. Derek, I want one of those. No problem. We're actually building it, right? It's actually built, actually. So Ephraim and he actually just kind of said something in the chat. EJ, he had a strategy call today, and he's super excited about possibly getting his started. So we'll be having a live on that probably here in a few weeks as well. But the next live we're doing is actually on the 16th of this month, where we'll be talking about how to wholesale real estate using a virtual assistant, right? So if you've ever dreamed of wholesaling real estate, how can you do that with the VA? I think that's on the 16th. But we're super excited about starting people with their own virtual assistant staffing agency. So if that's a dream of yours as well, that's going to be rolling out real soon. We're super excited everything that our digital marketing company is going to do for that particular business. We're literally building that for people. So we're excited about that. So let's go back to the chat. Let me see. I'm using Shay's MacBook tonight, y'all. So y'all bear with me. All right, so here we go. So shout out to everybody that showed up too. I appreciate it. So I obviously can't see everybody, but big shout out to Juwan, big shout out to Shantae, Tiffany, EJ, big shout out to Miss Francesca. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. Big shout out to Miss Pamela Pierce. Shout out to Miss Katara and Joanne. Thank y'all so much for being. A lot of my Clubhouse family is here. I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much for being active in the chat as well. I'm just gonna check the chat one more time, guys, and we're gonna get out of here. So again, man, I'm excited about all of these lives that we're doing. We're reaching a lot of other people that would otherwise find us because we're doing these lives. And what I'm excited about is that these lives, they live forever, right? So this goes to YouTube. It'll be under the tab that says live, and this will also be on my personal page at Derek Forston, and it'll also be on VA 101 at Facebook. So if you're not following us at VA 101 on Facebook, make sure you're following us there as well. And also, if you're not signed up for our emails, right, to make sure that you don't miss any sales, any promotions, any new stuff, make sure that you're signed up with us there as well. So I think that's it for me. I want to just ask the audience one more time, guys, was this okay tonight? Was this okay, everybody? Put a yes in the chat if it was. And if there's any questions, let me know. And Miss Shay, if you're still here and you can hear me, if there's anything else that you have for me, please let me know. And if I missed anything, Miss Shay.
You were good.
All right, Shay says I'm good. So I'm gonna check the chat just one more time. I'm gonna just say thank you. And today's Wednesday, so don't forget to join us Saturday at 9:45 a.m. Eastern. Right. So Miss Pamela, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Big Steve? Good to see you too, big bro. Me and Steve had a strategy call about 2 days ago as well. So good to see. So mostly all of y'all got VAs already. So that's good. I love it. Don't forget to share the word. Also, if you're interested in having an affiliate link from us too, let us know. Shoot us a DM because it's live. So DM me, put it in the chat. But nevertheless, you guys be great. Don't wait to be great. Move at the speed of instruction, and God bless you all. We appreciate it. And we'll see you guys Saturday at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time.